Hi and welcome to the walk-in studio. I just walked in from the library. I got a key in the counter and I'm almost ready to record a video. So when you enter the room, automatically the light will turn on as you see right now. And the first thing you need to pull up from your pocket is your DTU access card, because it will give you access to the system and also devise a place to move your recordings you do in this studio. So I'll take my access card from my bag, and then on this control panel I simply place it over the card reader. So as I do that, you should see green if you accept it. And then, because I've been here a few times, I have some previous projects already, but you should probably see a screen which says new project all over the place. So you select a new project, and as you do that, you can now decide, do I want to make a presentation or a screen recording, or using the Wacom digitizer, a top view camera, green screen, or a special mode called 4 sources. So the most typical choice would be presentation. And that gives us now a picture from a front camera right over there, and we have a screen as the backdrop. So one of the first things that I noticed here, because this is actually pretty fine with me, I could now go and decide if I want to use the curtain behind me. Probably I want to have a white background, so I'll just remove the curtain now. And because you're a nice person, you clean up after yourself, making sure the curtain is put into proper position, like that. Okay, then I want to bring down the screen a little bit. So on the side, behind the screen, there are buttons that will bring the screen down to approximately this level, which should be fine for my height. And in the other end of the room, you can see the front camera was moving down as well, along with the screen. But you can adjust it further by pressing the up and down button. This is called a teleprompter, and that will show me the recording I'm making, or I can put something else up there, like my slides if I want to follow them, or have a manuscript or something. So probably you want to connect your computer. You can either put it on the tabletop right here, or you can remove this surface. And underneath you find a small platform where you might be able to fit in your computer. We also have a Wacom digitizer over here, which is a device that allows you to use a pen, and you can draw on the Wacom digitizer and have this recorded and shown on the screen behind you. You also find buttons for taking the table up or taking the table down. And if you want to use this microphone, you can turn it on and off on this button. A very important feature is the touchscreen interface, which we already saw when I logged in with my DTU access card. And this is used for all the settings we want to do in this room, including starting and stopping recording. So I don't want to use the Wacom digitizer, so I turn it off if it was already on. And I'll now pull my computer up from my bag. Behind the Wacom digitizer, you find various cable types. We have here Mini DisplayPort 1, which is useful for a Mac computer. So I can attach this. So now my computer is attached to the system. I need to go to the input source menu. I select Mini DisplayPort number 1, which is the top option. And then the system changes to computer. And in a moment, I'll see the screen from my computer as the recording source. I can now change between camera 1, which is my front camera, and my computer. When I'm in the computer mode, I can choose picture-in-picture mode. I can choose it in a 16:9 or a 4:3 mode. And using these buttons here, I'm able to zoom in and adjust the camera a little bit. If I go to the front camera, you can see I also have these options of zooming in and adjusting the position. I would like the background behind me to be just plain white. So in this menu, I can also choose some background color options. This is done by pressing the lighting option, and it could be any color if I like, but I like to have a white background, so I turn on light white. In the input source menu, I can also decide what goes on the screen behind me or what is shown on the teleprompter monitor in front of me. Another option in this menu is to select what my camera 2 should be. And I have the option of a left and right camera and the top camera. The top camera is good for close-ups from above. And I can zoom in, I can track the camera forward. And then I can now change between camera 1, which is my front camera, camera 2, my top camera, and my computer source. So I'm almost ready to record now, but it's very important that you put the microphone on. So in the back of the room we have microphone transmitters sitting in a charger. You take them from there, you return them to there. And when you have audio, you'll see these meters are blinking. This is very important. There's another option, and that is to use the tabletop microphone, which is convenient in the sense that it's just right there and you don't need to wear anything. So you turn this on and off by pressing this button, and you'll see the LED changing from red to green. And you also see that now we have audio levels coming from this microphone. So I'm ready to record now, and it's so easy as to just press this button, record. Okay, so I press record, and in a moment you'll see that it turns red. There you go. I have a red confirmation over here, and if I go to the teleprompter in the back of the room, you can even see that I have red light share confirming that I'm recording, and I see my audio levels are also shown, so I know I have audio. And here you see, in this case, I see my screen from my computer, so I can see my slides, and you also have a counter so you can keep track of how long you have been talking. Whenever you're done recording, you just press the record button again and the recording will stop. And now, within a minute or so, this recording will be moved to a web server and you can access it by a link you'll receive in your email box. We currently advise people to make a backup recording, and in the back of the room you have two options. You can either put a USB key in this slot and it will automatically, simultaneously make a recording and put it on your USB stick. You can also rent a hard drive at the library counter and put it into these recording decks, and you will have a really high quality professional recording saved on that hard drive, again as a backup or as a production file if you need to do further editing. Okay. One of the most awesome features of the Walk-in Studio is that when you exit the studio again after recording, like what I do now, I log out here, then the next time you come back and you log in, the Walk-in Studio remembers how it was last time. So let's see if we can have the room restore the settings I just made a moment ago. So I use my access card to identify myself. It's now green, so it knows who I am. And you'll see over here in the project view, you can see my thumbnail from my last recording. So as I press this one, just watch and see what happens. So now you see that the screen is moving down to the position it had just before. All the light is restored to the values it had before. The camera is moving down to the position it had before. So I'll see my computer on the screen, and on the teleprompter monitor you will also see a representation of your previous recording and your current recording, so you can match that everything from your previous recording in this series is looking the same. In this way you can make nicely consistent videos even though you use the room on different days and other people have been here between. So, this is the Walk-in Studio.